So it used to be that you would either go to school or you'd run away and join the circus. Apparently here in Central Illinois, there's a way you can do both.
Love it.
And we'll find out more about that because John and Nancy are still talking. All right, so joining us on the podcast today is the executive director of the Gamma Phi Circus at Illinois State University, Marcus Alwyn. And I got to confess, Mark, well, first of all, thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
And I must confess that until I had a child go to Illinois State University, I had no idea that there was a circus in Central Illinois. I've lived here for, a quarter century.
And that's kind of hard to believe because you guys have quite a history, the Gamma Phi Circus, correct?
Yes, we do. We are in our 94th year right now, so we started in 1929.
So see, I'm a quick study.
Okay, and I'm going to admit that I went to ISU, and I did know that there was a Gamma Phi Circus, but I'm going to admit to you, Marcus, I have never been to see the circus.
All right, well, let's find out what it's all about.
Yeah.
So I was on a campus tour before my daughter went to the university, and it just as part of that tour, the nice gal that was running the tour there pointed at a building and go, and that's where we have the circus. And I'm like, circus? And she goes, yeah, the Gamma Phi Circus. It's a part of the university and has been for a long time. And I just kind of wrote that off as, well, they have a circus here, but I didn't really put two and two together to explore it a little further. But it is, the Gamma Phi Circus is a part of Illinois State University. Is that correct?
Yes, we are.
And it's entirely made up of students and staff at the university, right?
Right. 99% of our membership are all undergraduate students, and we have about 120 students this year.
And they all have to try out? And how does that whole process work? How do you become a part of the Gamma Phi Circus?
Sure. So most people start just the same way I did. I was a student at ISU and actually didn't know anything about the circus until a friend of mine told me about it. And so then I came to some practices and prepared for auditions. Auditions are now usually in about October. And every student has to audition for every act they want to be a part of. And then we spend a good chunk of the year just getting ready for our show, while also doing smaller performances throughout the community and things like that. And then we prepare for our big show in April.
So describe to me what the kind of acts are that you do at your circus. Are you trapezing? Are you tight wiring or tightrope wiring? What do you do?
For the most part, it's all of the above. We certainly have our acrobats. We kind of came out of a gymnastics background back in the 20s and 30s. And then we have our aerial acts. So we have trapeze, and we have a number of other beautiful, graceful aerial acts. We have our jugglers. We have our unicyclists. We have our clowns. Most things you would associate with the circus aside from animals.
Okay, so I can't learn to be a lion tamer at your circus.
But you can be a clown, John, which you're not going to have any trouble doing that.
If you ask my wife, I got that down. But there's
there you go. You can come to us for all the acrobatics, and for the animals, you can study horticulture, or not horticulture, but animal science.
Go into animal science.
Go to ISU Farm.
I got you. So is there a degree in circus or performance or something like that you get from the university?
No, we are actually an extracurricular activity for the students. Many, more and more lately, have had opportunities to go on and perform professionally. But all of our students are studying whatever they came to ISU to study. So anything ranging from architecture, well, not architecture, but accounting, all the way out through zoology and everything in between. We have a lot of education majors and a lot of exercise science majors.
So you're one of the oldest and longest running collegiate circuses in the United States, but how many other circuses are around other universities? Is it very common?
There were plenty of clowns at SIU. I went there, but we didn't really call ourselves a collective circus.
Sure. We're one of two collegiate circuses that are on the size and scope of what we do, Florida State University and us. However, more and more specific aerial clubs or unicycle clubs are popping up all over the place, and then there are some programs that are part of performing arts programs where students are able to study aerial arts and things like that at other universities. But for the size and scope, we are the oldest and possibly the largest. I'm not sure how big Florida is this year.
While we're talking to the executive director of the Gamma Phi Circus on the campus of Illinois State University, Marcus Alwyn, until I chatted with you, Marcus, I never knew there was a unicycle club. I think I might have to be part of that somehow.
It's happening more and more as students have access to youth circuses and programs through their schools and things like that. We're getting a lot of people coming to ISU specifically to continue the skills that they started in high school.
That's very interesting. Now, you say you're the largest, maybe the largest of your type of collegiate circus. So give me an idea of what we're talking about. How big a troupe do you have? How big a show is it? How many people come to see you? I mean, do you do it in a tent? Do you do it in an arena? Describe what you got going there.
Sure. So we are the oldest collegiate circus in the nation. This year will be our biggest year. We'll have 120 students at Fescue Arena. What used to be called Redbird Arena is now Fescue Arena. So we'll perform April 21st and 22nd there. And we would expect to see somewhere 16,000 to 18,000 people will come through in the course of that weekend to see our shows.
That is totally awesome.
That's amazing.
I mean, that's a big-time project that you got going on there. Do you do any circusing yourself anymore?
For the most part, I'm behind the scenes or spotting and coaching and those kinds of things. I'll get in there when I can, and especially if necessary. But we also have summer camp programs, and so that's an opportunity that I get to do a lot more with the kids.
What did you do?
I did quite a few acts over the years, but high wire was my first love, and I was a catcher in trapeze and general acrobat. I did some fire stuff as well. I had the opportunity to do quite a few things over the years.
Talking about your big home show coming up in April, the 21st and the 22nd, those are your big shows, but I noticed on the website that you also list morning shows, which is a great idea for field trips for schools. Are you still doing those as well?
Absolutely. We are actually, we just topped our biggest turnout ever as far as reservations go for our morning show. So we'll bus in schools from all over the state on that Friday morning, April 21st. And so we'll have over 4,000 students coming in this year, and it's just still open for more registration.
Great. And now, I also noticed on the website it says you travel throughout the state. So you've got your big home show that you guys train for, but you also hit the road where you have road shows and exhibitions for like schools and businesses and charities. How does that all work? Like if someone was over in Peoria and said, "Hey, we'd love for you to come over and do a show for us," is that what that's all about?
That is, yes. We actually normally this time of year we're really focused on our home show, but we had a couple of opportunities in the next couple of weeks. We'll be heading down to Springfield for a couple of different performances with some partners that we've had for a couple of years now and are fantastic to work with. We've traveled throughout our community, and then of course Peoria and the greater area throughout the state, up to Chicago, and we've gone as far as Germany in the past. But that's been a while, and we did the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in 2019, right before everything got closed down for us, and we've had some amazing opportunities to do some great traveling and performing all over.
That's really cool. The Gamma Phi Circus on the campus of Illinois State University, and we're talking to the executive director, Marcus Alwyn. So you say your first love was high wire. How do you know you're good at that before you get up there? Holy cow. That just seems scary to me.
It does take a little bit of a special way of thinking about things. However, I often get people who are specifically scared of heights, and they want to overcome that by doing things high up in the air. I have one artist this year on high wire who who I only recently discovered has a fear of heights, and she has fought that fear and overcome it in order to perform 20 feet off the ground.
Wow, so you learn stuff. You know, you're teaching people valuable skills. That's really cool. So let me tell you this story, Marcus. So this many years ago, you know, but we this is when the Barnum and Bailey Circus was still a thing, and it was coming through Peoria, and it was at the Civic Center, I believe. Anyway, the Barnum Circus used to send out an advanced clown, right? So
you do some promo.
One of their clowns who had trained for the circus, and he was, you know, he's a pro because he's a Barnum and Bailey pro clown, and he came in here and we were talking this, that, and the other thing, and during the course of that, I brought up that one of the folks that worked with us at that time, Maria Henneberry, she was from a circus family, and that clown fell silent. He was reverent over the Henneberrys from Central Illinois. Do they track back to your circus at all?
Actually, yes. So Zita, who I don't know if that would be her daughter or niece or someone, was one of the first students I had when I became director of Gamma Phi.
Wow.
An incredible unicycle family.
Yeah, that was the thing.
That's right.
So she was doing news for us, and I'm having this conversation with her, and I don't know how a unicycle came up, but she's like going, yeah, I can ride 4 or 5 different levels of unicycles and juggle at the same time. And I'm like, what? How does one do that? But apparently the Henneberrys were legendary circus people.
Absolutely, yes. A well-known name, and I still hear from Zita from time to time, and I think she's living in Southern Illinois now.
Isn't that cool?
But she was a fantastic unicyclist.
That is something. Well, give us the information one more time about how we can come see it, your big show that's coming up in April, and how do I get tickets, and how do I do that?
Absolutely. So tickets are on sale now. We will be performing at Seth Q Arena April 21st and 22nd. On the 22nd, we'll have a matinee show with a free kids carnival ahead of time for anyone with a ticket. And tickets can be purchased through GoRedbirds.com /Gamma Phi, or just GoRedbirds.com, and you'll see the link for our show.
Awesome.
That is so cool. Well, we wish you great luck in the show.
For the first time, I'm going to come over and see the Gamma Phi Circus. I'm very excited.
Yeah, Nancy's all pumped about this.
Wonderful.
So
Can't wait to see you there.
experience.
if maybe you could get her some kind of a sequined outfit and get her up on the tightrope, that would be best for us.
Okay.
Yes, we can make that happen.
No,
Or maybe
Marcus,
no.
we're
You
good.
know what'd be better, Marcus? What'd be better for Nancy would be getting shot out of a cannon. I think that's what that would give me the greatest satisfaction, probably. Thank you for joining us,
Yes.
sir, and thank you for providing a space where we can still run away and join the circus, even in the 21st century. Well done, sir.
My pleasure. It was great talking with you.
All right, take care.
Thanks, Marcus.
Okay.
Thank you. That is Marcus Alwyn, who is the executive director of the Gamma Phi Circus right there at Illinois State. Who knew, right?
Hey, you want to go to the circus?
Yeah,
with me?
I'm going to the circus.
going.
We can all go to the circus.
That's
'cause
right.
if you keep listening.
We'll keep talking.